Hi everyone! Today I'll show you how to make this Christmas wreath card using the new Country Christmas Wreath stamp and die set from Honeybee Stamps and the barn door plank dies as well. So I've cut all my pieces out ahead of time on watercolor paper, and we are going to start by inking up our various pieces. These are the products that I'm using. This is the Country Wreath stamp and die set. A moment ago I showed you the barnwood planks die. And okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use a whole bunch of different soft colored distress inks here. I'm going to start with some antique linen and a little finger dauber, and I'm just going to ink around the edges. So the barnwood planks set has either 5 or 6 different wood grained planks like this. So I just cut out about 10 or 12 of them, and we are going to make a little wood grain background for our wreath to sit on. And I'm using cream colored cardstock, and I thought that it would be cool to kind of give the wood a little bit of a distressed look by adding some shading here with distressing. So I'm using antique linen, and now I'm going over some of the edges with some ground espresso. So I don't know that it matters so much which shades of brown you use here. I think this would also look really pretty if you use maybe some like fog colored or light gray colored cardstock, and then added some like gray shading to the sides, or a bluish gray shading. That could be pretty cool. But here I'm just gonna go with cream and then some brown shading on our little wood planks. So I'm gonna pop up the wood planks. So I'm going to cut some foam tape out and apply it to the entire back of each of our planks. And I'm just gonna keep working my way through here until I get tape on all the planks that we're gonna need for our card. So this is cream colored cardstock, but for all the other items in the card, I am using watercolor cardstock. So even the background here is watercolor, because some of it is going to show through, and I just wanted there to be a real pretty just watercolor paper showing through, because we're going to cut the rest of our images for the wreath from watercolor paper. So I wanted there to be a little symmetry there. Okay, so I'm arranging the barnwood planks in a staggered fashion. So you do want to make sure that, you get the appearance that this is a real wood floor or wood wall, or I guess it would be a wood wall where they were hung. So I'm just staggering the pieces as I lay them down and making sure that there's a little bit of balance in terms of making sure there's enough long planks on both sides and short planks on both sides as well, just so that it looks balanced and not lopsided, kind of like putting a puzzle together. So this is our final background, and I cut it down to an A2 size card. I think the piece of paper I started with was 4.5 by 6 inches. So as you'll see, 4 rows of the planks will fit perfectly on an A2 size card, which is 4.25 inches by 5.5. I'm going to add some little nail heads here with just a black pen, and I'm just going to add 2 dots on either end of our little wood boards here. And I think I'm just using this might be a Sharpie. I think we'll see in a second what kind of pen I'm using. But any pen, any marker would work. You could even use the tip of your Copic marker in one of the black shades, or the darker gray shades would work as well. You could also, if you wanted there to be a little bit of dimension to the background, you could do it with nuvo drops as well, the little nail heads. That's another look. Okay, now we are going to move on to assembling our wreath. And I've die cut all the pieces, and we're going to shade them in first, and then we'll add them all together onto the background. So I cut out 2 of the large wreath pieces from the die set, and we're going to layer them one over top of the other. And I'm just going to apply some light green shading here. I think I'm using old paper distress ink, and then maybe some bundled sage as well. Oh no, Old paper and peeled paint are the two colors I'm using, but bundled sage would work here. Shabby shutters would work as well if you wanted it to be more of a lime green color. I'm just trying to go with soft colors. You could also, if you want it to be more traditional and bold, you could use pine needles or evergreen bow, whatever, for your wreath pieces. It's really up to you. I just kind of took all my distress inks out and just played around with the colors. So now I'm gonna, for each of the pieces of foliage that we're gonna add to the wreath, I'm gonna color each type of foliage a different color, just so that there's a little bit of balance to the design where all the shapes of the same shape are the same color, but then we've got different colored pieces included in the wreath, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna color in these little fern-like pieces with some ice spruce. I colored in the pine needle shapes before. I think that was pine needles distressing. And I'm just gonna find all the pieces that have this shape and color them all in with the ice spruce. Just searching through my pile here. One of the benefits of adding your shading after, instead of cutting them all out of colored cardstock, it was much faster to die cut this. I just ran all the die cuts through my machine twice, I think, and for some pieces 3 times, because they were just all on the same sheet of watercolor paper. So it was really fast. And this inking doesn't take that long, honestly. For this little piece, we'll use some evergreen bough here. And I'm applying my color the darkest to the tip of the leaf. And then I'm leaving a little bit of white space at the bottom, just so that we have a variation in color. This is Lucky Clover, and these are little holly leaves. These aren't going to actually make it into the final wreath, but I thought I would leave this in just in case, you wanted an idea for how to shade in the holly leaves. And then we have, after that, I'm also coloring some of the holly leaves in with, I think that's Faded Jeans there, just to have some blue. And then these little like bud die cuts, I'm going to color those in as well with the Faded Jeans. Now for these tiny little branches, I'm going to add some nuvo drops over top of the little buds there. So I'm just inking them up with some of the ground espresso, the brown. These are the centers to the flower, and I'm using the ground espresso as well, just inking them up. And then I'll just clean off my workspace here, and we can move on to, I guess I have one more of these little bud clusters that I'll color in with the Faded Jeans and then push to the side. And as you can see, we're getting a nice palette together with all the different pieces with some really, really pretty soft colored winter foliage. For the flowers, we're going to use, this is Shaded Lilac. And I'm just gonna apply the color to the edges of the flower, leaving the center kind of light. We are gonna add the centers to them later. This is Sponge Sugar. I think I don't actually use this flower in the finished leaf. It was a little bit too warm, but I thought I'd leave it in. And then this is our Dusty Concord flower here. So I'm trying to get all the colors of the rainbow, so we'll have a real soft muted rainbow at the end with all the colors represented with our different pieces. For the berries, I'm using Festive Berries. This is going to be the brightest element to our wreath, just to add a little bit of pop at the end. So I thought it was okay to add a bright color here. And now we are going to add some embossing powder over each of these images. So there is a stamp set that accompanies the country wreath die cuts, and you can add like decoration and embellishment to your little die cuts as well. I decided to use them just for these pieces, so I'm going to color in all of the pieces that we're going to use here with distress ink, and then we're going to go over it with the stamps, and we're going to emboss the designs onto the little die cuts, and then add some white embossing powder, and then heat set it. So I'm just doing that same step that we did for the foliage with these little other elements of the wreath. So we'll have some gingerbread men, we'll have some little hearts here. We'll have, these are going to be the orange slices, and we'll have them in two different orientations. So a head-on shot and then like a side shot of the orange slices. I'm just going to finish inking up that little heart there. And then I'm going to use some yellow for, these are the forward-facing orange slices. You'll see what I mean in a second when we add the embossing over them. And then some wild honey, which is more orangey color for the side-facing citrus slices. So I'm imagining maybe we have some little oranges in the wreath, maybe some little lemons. We're not going to end up using all of these. I actually, when I was done, I think I have enough of all these little pieces to make a second wreath if I wanted, but I didn't know that when I started. Okay, so these are our candy canes, so I'm going to color those in with the festive berries. For the little stars here, I'm going to color those in with some of the squeezed lemonade. It's a really light yellow color. And then I have that one little candy cane left over. Got to get that one done. And I love these finger daubers for small detail work like this. You can buy them, I think, on Amazon, and you can get 36 of them in a little tray for maybe $20. And they're just perfect for, you know, times when if you don't want to color in your images, you just want to kind of quickly ink over them. And then you have your little daubers, get your little ink cubes out, and you're good to go. And the process moves pretty quickly. Now these little guys here are pine cones, so I'm going to color those in with our ground espresso. And I know they don't really look like pine cones yet, but when we add the embossing over them, you'll see. So now these are the stamps, and these are the little designs that you can emboss on top of the shapes. So I'm just going to add each of these stamps onto a block. I'm just going to show you this process for the gingerbread man, not for the others. So I'm just going to use Versamark ink. I added some anti-static powder tool first so that the ink, so that the embossing powder doesn't stick to the colored in image or any area where there isn't that embossing ink. And then I'm just going to take my embossing powder and just apply it over top of the little guy. And then I'll just heat set it. Now the easier way to do this would have been to just stamp all of the details first and then just die cut the little guys out after you finish that part. But I did it the hard way here. So now I have to go and emboss each of the little pieces individually. And we're not going to end up using many of these. I think we're going to end up using one of the gingerbread men, one of the hearts, a couple of the candy canes, and then maybe a star or two and an orange slice. So this process can go really, really quick if you just emboss what you need. I love this little heart here with the little white decorations there. And the same for our little star. It has some white decorations. There are also these embellishments that you can use for the foliage as well. So it can look like maybe there's some snow on your foliage if you embossed those pieces as well. But I decided that for the leaves, we would just leave them with the distress ink, and then we would add that extra embossing to the more major elements of the wreath. Okay, so let's put this guy together. So I'm going to lay down both layers of my wreath, staggering them so that you can see pieces of both of them peeking through, or I guess the bottom peeking through. And then I'm just going to arrange my leaves on either side of the wreath, and I'm making sure to, for each piece, they each head in a different direction. So for the right side of the wreath, I'm using those that go counterclockwise. And then for the left side of the wreath, I'm using the pieces that are pointing clockwise. And by doing it this way, I'm kind of building up the wreath piece by piece, side by side as we go along. And then the pieces are going to end up meeting up top. So if you wanted to have your pieces all go in one direction, then you would just just look at the pieces that you're cutting out. You would just cut out the ones that are kind of all going in a clockwise direction or all going in a counterclockwise direction. And then, you would be able to get a wreath that was just one directional. But this is a 2-directional wreath. And I'm just going to layer all of these little fern pieces and the little pine needle pieces together. And I just love how those soft, different shades of green are playing off against each other. It's just so pretty. It's just fun to watch it come together. I'm using my tape adhesive here because I did want to make sure I had the chance to move some pieces around before final placement if I wanted. And I also didn't want the glue to kind of get matted or be able to show through. I just felt that I would have better luck using tape adhesive here. Now we'll add our flower. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to the center so that my little edges of the flowers can bend upwards and give some dimension to the design. So like I said, we ended up using the Dusty Concord and the Wilted Violet flowers that we shaded in earlier. For the centers here, I decided to use some liquid adhesive just to make sure that they stuck really, really good and won't come off later. I'll just press those down. And it's looking pretty good. Now we can add our little gingerbread man kind of sticking out the side of our little flower cluster. And then we'll add a little heart diagonal to where the gingerbread man is. The little candy cane underneath our cluster of flowers. Another candy cane on the left side of the wreath. And then maybe one more on the right side. And then a little orange slice tucked in there. One of the little blue stars above that, a pine cone, a little cluster of our little blue buds just right in there. And I just love how all these pieces are fitting together. We'll add a little bit more foliage under the flower. And now we'll add our berries. So for the berries, I'm just using glue here, liquid glue, because I'm pretty sure where I want to keep them and I want to make sure they don't pop off. And we'll just add one more cluster right up there. So for most of the elements, I'm either adding 2 or 3 of them or 1. For design purposes, I guess it's always best to use 1 or 3, not 2. But for the flowers, I thought that they were set off enough that it was okay to have a cluster of 2 instead of 1 or 3. And then we'll just glue this all down to a card base. So this is a cream colored card base. And our sentiment is stamped on the inside. I was thinking of adding it to the center of the wreath, but at the end of the day, I just thought that wreath was so pretty, it should stand on its own and then just have the sentiment in the center of the card. And then we'll add some White Blizzard Nuvo drops over the top of the buds here. And then maybe in the center of the flowers as well. And I think that just gives it just enough pop that we've got enough variation and color and texture. And now our card is complete. So let's take a look at the center. So we have our Merry Christmas with our little heart cut out. And then here is a closer look. And that is it. So that is my card for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you give this card a try. Definitely check out Honeybee Stamp's new holiday cheer release. Lots of great products. Thanks a lot and I'll see you again soon in another video.